How you doing, Joaquin? And here comes Josh. Here comes Karima.
Hello.
Hello, welcome, welcome, welcome.
I was going to say, by the way, just before we get started, Will might not be able to make it to class today because he got in a car accident earlier.
Oh no, he isn't injured, I hope.
No, he said he's doing all right. I don't think he's really hurt, but just said he might not make it in with dealing with other stuff.
Okay, well, the meeting's recorded anyway.
Okay.
So, but being here counts for points.
Yeah.
So, but thanks for letting me know. Because we're all a bunch of friendly people, need your web cameras on, according to the dean. Smile your smiling faces. Yes, here comes Tommy.
I still don't have a webcam.
Josh, what are we going to do with you? We might have to have you log in with your cell phone or something. Anyway, no. Yeah, the dean wants as many of our friendly faces as possible for the record. So let's take a look. Karima's here. Josh is here. William, accident. Joaquin is here. Tommy's here. Luis is here. 4, 5. Okay. All right. So just waiting on Carlos and Chase. So hopefully they'll be along shortly. Let's see the update from Nabil. We have some challenges with respect to parts. Let's take a look. Wow. Just started class. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to put myself on mute for just a moment. I'm checking to see if Nabil has some updates for us, so hold on. Okay, let me bring you up to date on where we are with respect to all the parts. All right, Chase, Carlos, Joaquin, and Karima, I need your cameras on. Same thing with you, Tommy. Need to see your smiling faces. Yes. All right.
I don't have a camera.
Well, the next time we come on, we might have to put you on cell phone or something because the dean wants to see everybody on camera.
Hello, everyone.
Okay. There's Karima. Yay. All right. Yay. Carlos is coming on in a moment. There's Carlos. Hey, there's Chase. All right. Hooray. So how are things, Chase, in the shop? Your mic is off.
Oh, what's up, guys? Sorry about that. That was a boomer move. What's it called? Yeah, it's been pretty busy recently still. So a lot of people just been ordering through DoorDash. So half of our sales are almost like 3/4 of our sales is through DoorDash itself. So it's been pretty insane recently. But you know, it's kind of died down a little bit, but not too bad anymore. So I got like I'm working today or this week about 5 days, so better than 6 days a week. So if I go over like 7 days, I'd be going overtime, and the customer or the manager doesn't want me going overtime because then I have to pay me overtime, you know, save money. So that way,
Right.
so is what it is so far. It's so bad, it's not too bad, but you know, I've seen worse. So
Well, glad you're duly employed, and it does beat the alternative for some of our friends and relatives who are not quite as fortunate. You know, they're in a real pinch. So glad to hear that the business is thriving and DoorDash is keeping your merchandise rolling out the door.
oh yeah, of course.
Okay, great. Hey, Luis, how you doing, pal?
I'm doing all right. I just started working as of Friday, so
Oh, fantastic. Where do you work?
I work in Newark at a taqueria right now.
Newark. That's fantastic. So in the taqueria, are you doing a lot of business with DoorDash also?
Yep, and with what's the other one? GitHub or the
Grubhub.
other Grubhub, that one.
Grubhub,
Grubhub,
yes,
Postmates.
Grubhub and DoorDash. Well, that's fantastic. It's like I say, you know, if somebody wants to work and can't work, then you know that can be really frustrating. So glad you're back in business and up to something. Josh, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Excellent. And Carlos, how are you?
I'm good, Mr. Ko.
Good, good. Glad to hear. Joaquin, how are you?
I'm doing well also.
All right. Karima, how are you? Microphone.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
All right. Excellent, excellent. So yeah, you know, I don't know about other instructors, but I know this instructor is doing so much more work, having to support online content as in comparison to on-ground content, because everything that we're accustomed to having at our fingertips in the lab, we don't quite have at our fingertips. So it's a new world we all find ourselves in, but good. So Mr. William Lewis, we understand that you got into an accident, so hopefully you're not injured, eh? Mr. Lewis, I know you're just clicking on, he just clicked on. So we'll give him a few minutes to stabilize his Microsoft Surface and turn on his camera, because we know he's got one. William Lewis, Earth to Will, Earth to Will. Okay, anyway, he'll be along in a little bit. Bring you up to date on what I just had a conversation with Nabil. The school and a number of email accounts of the school have been intermittent, meaning even our dean, who's supposed to have a pretty high level of priority email, has had loss of the use of her email intermittently or during the course of last Friday through yesterday and parts of today. So Nabil has experienced that. So it's not consistent who is affected, and it's not consistent that it lasts for some period of time. It just comes and goes. So there's windows of opportunity where this can happen. So a couple of things with respect to the parts that you all have been seeking. We know, number one, right now, for any teams that are trying to order anything through Newark is not a good resource at this point in time because of their business being either shut down or partially shut down or something, but they haven't been responsive to the inquiries that we have made. And so since they haven't been responsive, we can't tell whether they're open or not. So if you happen to have any parts that have been ordered through that category, you might want to change that or try some similar part either on Jameco or on your own. So, and I know that at least one list had Newark parts in it. The other thing also is with respect to not Jameco. Jameco will accept the order, they will process it, and as soon as Nabil puts the orders together, but the shipping and receiving of those parts has been challenging. UPS has not, because our campus is open on a limited basis, and we specify that there is a certain time window for them to be able to drop off product or merchandise to us between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock. There was a UPS shipment for other parts that have been ordered prior to your parts, and that shipment, that information of the time window was given to UPS, and that shipment came to the school and was turned around. Somehow, I guess it didn't make the 8 to 2 p.m. time slot. And so that particular shipment, not of any of your parts, but of a previous order, was turned around, which means that, again, there may be some delay in even after we process properly through Jameco of you being able to get your parts. So you might, there's William. How you doing, William? Okay, turn off your microphone so we can hear you, pal.
Got you.
Okay. All right.
got
Were you
you.
able to hear the last part that I shared with everybody regarding James and UPS?
I heard a little bit of it. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah, we can hear you fine. So
Okay.
there's Newark is not a reliable resource for us presently. So if your team happens to have anything that's in the Newark column as opposed to the Jameco column, you're going to have to find something in Jameco or on your own in order to finish your whatever parts are needed for your project. And then the other side of the coin is not any problem having to do with Jameco. Jameco will receive our orders, process our orders, ship out our orders. The other wrinkle is UPS is not working well with the time window that we have to receive anything. So the campus shipping and receiving department can receive between 8 o'clock and 2 o'clock. And so the most recent Jameco order that was supposed to have been received by our receiving department was turned around because they missed that window. So there may be some subsequent delays even with Jameco, but no fault of Jameco. It's something having to do with coordinating UPS with our receiving department. So be patient with the ultimate receipt of parts. Now, I did receive one address that was for Chase Scannell and Chase's team. I do need shipping mailing addresses for the other two teams. So whichever one of your teammates is the prototype person, the fabricator, the assembler, tester, that person, you need to get that mailing address, a reliable mailing address to me so I can forward that to Nabil. So ultimately when he is able to get the parts, he's able to ship them out to that address. So far he has one address. I need 2 more addresses for the 2 remaining teams.
Roger.
Okay. And so that address, so Chase's one address, and who will be the other address?
I'll just be the other address.
So William is another
Yeah.
address. So that's another team address. So William, get that.
And then
And who's the third team address?
me, Tommy.
Oh, Tommy.
Sorry.
Okay, so write down Tommy is the other address. So Tommy and William, get me those addresses via Canvas, and then I will forward them to Nabil. And then those teams, as I've said, who have anything on the Newark side of that list, get them out of the Newark side, because Newark definitely is not a reliable resource for us, because they're not handling the shelter-in-place situation in the same manner that Jameco is, or other vendors. Okay. So for William, do you recall on your team whether you had stuff from Newark?
I do not think so. I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think so.
Which member of your team gave me the list?
I believe it was Carlos.
Carlos, do you guys have anything on your team from Newark?
No. Yes, there's one item that we should get it from Newark, which is the rotary encoder with push button.
Yeah, well, that's not going to come from Newark. So what you're going to need to do is look in Jameco, see if they can source that part, or try to source that part elsewhere on your own.
All right.
Okay. Okay. And then for the Karima, Josh, and Tommy team, did your group have something from Newark? Who sent you that part?
Yeah, I did. And we do have
Okay.
2 parts from Newark.
Okay. So
Yeah.
that being said, since they have been deemed in the past few days as being an unreliable resource, can you look into the Jameco side and see if there's an equivalent that can be had on the Jameco side, and get that information to me as soon as possible?
Okay, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you. All right. So that's good. And then for our team's list, when I say our team, our team's list is so small that that'll be Chase and Luis and myself. So I don't recall on ours that we had anything from Newark.
Didn't.
Luis?
No, we didn't have anything from Newark.
Didn't think so. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So that's what we needed to address there. Fantastic. Now let's go ahead and take a quick peek at 61. 61, and then do this over to here. And who sent me what? Okay, so Tommy, thank you for your mailing address in Castro Valley. I appreciate that. And that other message will not pertain to us for right now. That's good. Okay, now I will take a look at here and take a look at here. Okay, I've got ePortfolios from Josh and Carlos. And let's take a look at this site. Yes, no, maybe, yes, no. No, yes, yes, no. Okay, so I will also do it this way. Control C, open this up and paste. Boom. 404 error. So Josh, did you test that link as a separate paste?
Yes, I did. Is it not letting you go in?
No, unfortunately not.
Okay.
Let me
That's odd.
just do this again. Let's do another paste. Because what's interesting is usually if it's a published ePortfolio, the very last thing that I see at the end of the address line should say home. I see a KTJ with a slash. And It may be, yeah, it's a form of your ePortfolio that is not a published form. So if it's not published, I can't see it, unfortunately.
Okay, that's weird. I
Yeah,
posted a new link in the Zoom chat just now.
okay.
It works for me.
All right, so let's see. As I'm looking at Carlos's, I see multi-ambient detector system with digital clock. This looks pretty good. And view a new tab. Let's see if I can view it in a new tab. This looks very good. So I have a purpose page, hypothesis page, materials, diagrams, data analysis, application. All right, this part here is looking really nice. This part here is looking really nice. So let me, and I'll go to the chat in a moment. Aha, good. So Josh, that other, the one you posted in the chat should, so let me copy it, copy, and paste it. Paste and then hit enter. No, it's still not happy. That's published.
Okay, let me try unpublishing the site and then republishing it.
Okay, so let me share with you all what we should be looking at for the portfolios. All right, so everybody sees my share screen and hopefully, and do you see on the middle of my share screen, multi-ambient detector system with digital clock? That's
Yes.
an affirmative?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and so this is what let me go to the home page or purpose. And all we want for the ePortfolio for this week is really a rough outline. It has to have the requisite number of windows that are part of your pages that was noted in a separate document. So we have a home page, the purpose, and all that's needed at this point in time is just titles. You don't have to fill this in. The next week and a half, you'll be filling this in with the purpose. The hypothesis, you'll fill that in. Materials and procedure, you'll fill that in. Diagrams, you'll be working on that. Data, you'll be working on that. Analysis and conclusion. Same thing with application. And then works cited. Okay, so it looks like all the requisite components are there. It's nicely laid out. So you have a defined project manager, prototype person, and ePortfolio specialist. So Joaquin, very nicely laid out. Good job on behalf of your team for getting this guy started. Now this guy looks like a link. If I click on this, where does it take me?
That takes you to the home page.
Oh, okay. It looks good. All right, fantastic. Well, that's what our ePortfolios should be looking like at the beginning of our process. So this is really nicely done for Carlos, William, and Joaquin. So ePortfolio for Carlos, William, and Joaquin. Good. Okay. So let's take that off of there and then come back to Canvas. And did you load up anything newer on the chat, Josh?
No, but I think now the link should work, the one I posted before.
Okay. That should be the most recent one. So let's go here and hit enter. All right, cool. Now it does. Let me go back to share. Share. Cool. All right. Take this guy off. Put this guy here. All right. Team KTJ. We have our home page. We have a purpose. I like your artwork. Your artwork is really nice. Oh, you've even started filling some things in. Very nice. That's a really good illustration here. Does this actually do anything? Oh, look at this. It actually does flip between several images. Usually a Pinterest pin will still only, it'll show it'll show the arrows, but the arrows aren't live linking to anything else. So this is very nice. So purpose is good. What is this about? This is very nice. And hypothesis. Okay, very, very nice. And then materials and procedure. Yet to be filled in. That's great. You've got placeholders, which is wonderful. Diagrams. Oh, there was more. Hold on one moment. Go back to materials and procedure. There's a slide bar. So yeah, you've got very nice. So nice placeholders for things to fill in. And then diagrams. Very nice. So this presentation video at the appropriate time, you'll link that in. Data will go here, analysis and conclusion. And you have applications. Very nice. And then works cited. Okay. And you already have some of that filled in. Very, very nice. All right. So for ePortfolio, for Josh, Karima, and Tommy, that part's done. And Chase, you have yours as well?
Wait, which one?
The ePortfolio? Or is Joaquin doing?
I'm not sure yet. Let me check.
Joaquin, are you the, I forget, I think you're the fabricator, yes?
The wrong team.
All right, I think
No,
it's just
no. Luis, you're the fabricator?
Oh, Chase is the fabricator. I put the ePortfolio in the chat. It should be
Okay.
there.
All right. There it is. Okay, cool.
For some reason, week 3 is closed for me on Canvas.
Okay, well, it probably closed everybody until I hit the green button, so it's not just you, sorry. Let's take a look here. Bump and paste. Here we go, and hit enter. And let's go back to here. Okay, automatic irrigation system using Arduino. So home, very nice background, good space, purpose. We have that started. That's a nice description and illustration. Hypothesis. Okay, that's a placeholder. Materials and procedure. Might want to change the titling here so that the URES doesn't end up on a second line.
Change it.
Yeah, so just work on that a little bit. Diagrams. Here's another thing that some people will be talking about. Notice that under purpose, you have that with a capital P. Hypothesis is a capital H. Materials and procedure, you decided to go lowercase. Diagrams, you brought that up to a capital D for uppercase. And video presentation. So make sure you're consistent with your capitalization, and also that parts of words are not dragging over to second line.
Okay, I'll fix it.
Data, okay, analysis and conclusion, same thing there. And then under more, it should probably be works cited, references, bibliography, as being your last page when you get to the last page. But overall, the construct was exactly what I was looking for. So it's fine. This is great. This is very, 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 very good. All right. So we are good there and there. Okay, and then now Gantt charts. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at, take off the share. Okay, unshared. All right, so now let's take a look here. ePortfolio, okay, all that looks great. So let's go ahead, fill those guys in. That's very nice. Progress. Did I not create a space for your Gantt charts? It's possible. So let's go ahead and make sure we make that available to you so we can take a look at the Gantt charts. 61. And okay, I'll create that for us so you'll have a place to load up your Gantt charts. Let's do here. 3, and then add the module, that's fine. And then take this guy, move this up here, and then add week 3 GANTT charts, Gantt charts, add item, and activate, and for Gantt charts. So have your Gantt charts ready for uploading in just a moment. So let's go ahead and make that 50 and assignments points, and it will be online, and it will be file uploads, and it will be there, save and publish. Okay. Okay. All right, so if you refresh your Canvas screens, can you see week 3 Gantt chart upload?
Yes.
Nice. All right, so those of you, actually, you should have, were there any questions on the Gantt chart?
Yeah, I have one.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Okay, so the one you put up just now, do we upload all of our Gantt charts or just the one that we have been doing?
Well, according to our, come on, mouse, let me get to the right screen here. Okay. According to this, we have a master Gantt chart, and then there's a separate Gantt chart for the portfolio person and a separate Gantt chart for the prototype person, because each of them are working under a different time frame. And so if we go to, let's see, where is that? Is that here? No, where? Here, here, project. So if we go to project and pull this up over here and do this.
So do we include everyone's role in the Gantt chart or just ours?
Let's see. Okay, let me answer that question. So if I look under Gantt chart, the team leader is going to maintain a master Gantt chart, and then the portfolio person generates a Gantt chart that is specific to the portfolio person for their time frame, and the prototype person generates a Gantt chart that is specific to the prototype person. And so what it is that you're going to be working with is are these calendar dates. So let me do this for us. Do this, and point the camera here. Okay, turn this guy around. Okay, cool. All right, so if we look at where we're at, we are presently right here on April the 7th. Can everybody see? We go to speaker view. And I'm the speaker. Hello. Come on. All right. Can everybody see this now? We have April 7th is this week where the ordering is in the process of being finalized, depending upon what each of you come up with, if you happen to have stuff that was previously under Newark. And we have these numbers of weeks: week 4, week 5, week 6, 7, and 8. And so we are to present on week 7. That is our presentation, scheduled for May the 6th. That's what you want to go for. And then week 8 is called catch-up. And typically what happens during the catch-up week is whatever videos come about in the presentation, if we're not back on campus by then, for you to present as a group, then you present via Zoom meeting. You record the Zoom meeting video, and as you record the Zoom video, then that particular video will be embedded in the final ePortfolio. So the catch-up is for the ePortfolio to finish with a Gantt chart, to finish with a video of your presentation of the previous week. So it really is to finish up the ePortfolio so it's all buttoned up nice and neat, and will stand on its own after publication, that any of you will be proud to present to any prospective employer. So this is the time frame that we have. So as different tasks come about to be completed between the writing of the theory of operation, drawing the schematic, drawing the assembly diagram, laying out the PC board, assembling the prototype, testing and troubleshooting the prototype, make or use or acquire the packaging, put the prototype in the package, writing final operating instructions, ePortfolio pictures, writing a bill of materials and labor budget. All of that can happen in these weeks. So you will just lay out what it is each of you are going to do in your respective tasks for those particular weeks. And that's how we should all be abiding by this particular time frame, because that's what it is we have in front of us. So if you haven't selected these calendar target dates, make sure that they are updated in your Gantt chart for the number of days that we've allocated in the task assignment sheet. So make sure you have these dates. This is also being recorded, so you'll be able to have this as part of the recording of this evening's discussion. Any questions on our time frames?
Yeah, where would you find the previous recordings for example, like this week and like last week?
Okay, look under YouTube. Look under YouTube, look under my name, Frank Coe, and then specifically look under KO-GUY, Kogai. And so Kogai, I will have a variety of different videos that have been put on this past week. And I think I believe I have one for our previous one. If I don't, I do have the YouTube for it. I mean, I do have the Zoom for it, and we'll be able to share that with you. So let me take a look right now, since I happen to have that on another screen. Numbering systems. Okay, I'm sure I recorded it, but I have not transferred it into the YouTube yet, and that can be easily done as the one for this evening. Initially, first couple of weeks with Zoom, everybody getting on, there was an issue of whether or not those recordings would become immediately available, and if they did become available, then are they scalable to YouTube? And so we have found that yes, they are. So I will go ahead and retrieve the one for the previous week, and then also the one for this week, and you'll be able to find it using path, the YouTube, Frank Co videos, and under co-GUI. Did that answer your question?
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, Chase, good question. I appreciate that. So any questions regarding this time frame of where we are today and where we need to be by 1 month from now? I think the most challenging one for any team is probably the team I'm working with. Is we're talking about a terrarium and how fast things can grow within that terrarium in order to achieve measuring some data. So Luis and Chase, have you thought about what type of seeds you're going to be putting in there to see what's the fastest growing seeds you can find?
It would probably have to be chia seeds, wouldn't it? That's the fastest thing that grows.
What's that?
Chia seeds?
Chia seeds. Oh yeah, those
Yeah.
grow pretty fast. Yeah, and they're readily available from a variety of different resources also. So no, that's a good one. I was concerned if you were trying to grow a redwood tree, we would be here forever. So that's not quite work. So chia seeds will work. Otherwise, with respect to the other teams, the scope of the projects that we've surveyed so far, between getting these parts within the next week to 14th, 21st, 28th for building and troubleshooting to be able to present on the 6th. That's your target, okay? So it's, I believe with all the different things, even if you don't get your parts until 21st, you still have things that you can build between now and the between now and the 21st, these 2 weeks, for you to be able to get some substantive progress going on your particular project. Any questions regarding this time frame? We are locked into this. We don't have any time after this. There is talk presently of possibly extending the summer, extending our semester into the summer, but that presently is in the discussion stage between deans and the administration and the faculty. So let's not rely on that. If it does become available to us and some of you finish earlier, then let's plan on this as a presentation and that is a catch up. If some of you don't finish by presentation or by catch up and that time frame after this week in June is extended, then we will have some time to think about allowing you to have that extra time. I know that there will be some time that will be made available to us for people to turn in their projects. So for all of you who have the Grove starter kit for Arduino with all of the sensors, each one of the kits that you have received have you returned to us intact. So yeah, don't lose any of the sensors, don't lose any of the parts, because there will be an accounting through an inventory of all of that when you bring all that back in. When that's going to happen, I don't have the information on that yet. Like I say, the dean and the administration and faculty are still working on trying to get something past this date, primarily for turning in equipment, not necessarily for extending the time frame for our project. But if they do give us that extra time and some of you aren't able to finish to present by the 6th, then all the better. But that's your target. You want to try to think about having everything wrapped up, working such that you can all present as a team by May the 6th. Any questions on that?
Yeah, Mr. Go, I do have a question. I already
Please.
submitted the master MS project chart.
Yes, yes.
So pretty much I went far away from that date. I did my presentation date on the May the 12th. So I think I'm gonna resubmit it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, it'll be a slight modification to push that up, because yeah. Let me actually double check one more thing. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Let's do. I believe if I have. Where is okay, let's go to here, because this is our ESYS schedule. But, so Karima, don't go changing anything just yet. This is our ESYS schedule, and our ESYS schedule is always a bit askew with the school schedule. So let me double check the school schedule, because I believe we still may have one more week. I think final exams for the rest of the school takes us into the third week of May. Yeah, it does. Yeah, final examinations for the rest of the spring semester for everybody else takes us into the third week of May. So let's take a look here. Advance my calendar to May. Yeah, it takes us into the third week of May. So technically for everybody else, final examinations on 18th, 19th, 20th, and the 21st. So we can change present, change catch up here, 5, boop, 19. So this will be the catch up. So you can see what I'm marking here. So this will be present, and this will be the catch up. So we have roughly 5 weeks between now and then for presentation. So Karima, if you've had the 12th for presenting, we have the 19th for finishing up and the ePortfolios and turning in the equipment. So that's right. ESYS normally has an 8-week, but we always finish a week before other people have final exams. So this will be our time frame. Is everybody able to see what I've written on paper?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
our target
Yeah, I can see it.
presentation date, yeah, our target presentation date will be our week 8. But all paperwork and ePortfolios must be wrapped up with their videos and pictures and other documentation and equipment turned back in on the catch-up week, which will be Tuesday, May the 19th, which for everybody else is finals week. Cool. All right. That gives us a little bit of breathing room since we have our schedule being slightly different from the rest of the school. Cool. All right. Now that being said, yeah. Thank you for Karima. Thank you for asking that question. And now it's clearer for all of us when what kind of time space we have. So this is very good. So other questions are regarding ePortfolios or Gantt charts. Questions regarding your projects in general. One of the interesting things that we shared with Chase and Luis on our team was this is an irrigation project. And so irrigation requires water, requires soil, requires something growing in order to monitor the moisture content of that soil. And these sensors come into play. So one of the things we had talked about, well, okay, how do we containerize this into a form where the components the sensors can be placed in order to do these different measurements. And so we had evolved our conversation from some kind of a cardboard box to a milk carton because it has a big lining, to a plastic jug, to a glass terrarium. And so any of those things were an interesting point of discussion for our team, was the packaging, because ultimately we said none of this is going to be laying out on mama's dining room table, that you have to have some kind of containerization of this, some sort of packaging. So that being said, the question goes to the Karima, Josh, and Tommy team. What were you going to use for packaging to containerize your project?
Just a simple box, cardboard box.
Okay, a simple box. Cardboard. Cardboard is a good medium to use. You can always cut it up and glue it and do all kinds of fun things with it. So that's great. Okay. Have you determined the size of this card? Do you have the cardboard box already?
I don't have all the parts, and so I don't know how much I need.
Okay. So Tommy, you're the fabricator? You're the builder?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Prototype guy. Okay. And Chase is our prototype guy? Chase?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, you're the prototype guy, yes? You're the builder? Or you're the ePortfolio guy?
Well, I'm helping Luis on the ePortfolio as well, but you know, I think we're all going to help each other out at the same time.
Okay, well, keep in mind what we've been told as instructors is during this phase of the time that we're working together is to try not to work together without the appropriate social distancing, okay? That you should try to do as much as you can without having to be next to a teammate. It's an awful thing to say. I hate having to say things that way, but the directive is to try to make sure that if you are going to work together in any way, shape, or form, that you do exercise the appropriate cautions and maintain the appropriate social distancing. So can we rely on you to do that?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Yay. All right. Okay. And then for the Carlos, Luis, and Joaquin, the Carlos, William, and Joaquin team, which one of you is the builder?
I'm the builder. I am.
Okay, William is.
Yeah.
Okay, William is the proto guy. All right. And so for your particular project, what are you going to use as a container package?
That was kind of my biggest concern, because we have the parts, but I was thinking like some type of wood would probably work. Just carve out some wood. I got some materials at my job, but I'm most likely gonna go, if I can find, like maybe I don't even know if Michael's is open, but just some kind of wood. I can carve it out and cut it out and stuff at my job, but I was thinking more like just to containerize it, either like particle board or wood or like some kind of plastic just to hold it all together. But I kind of I kind of got to go on YouTube or something and see a better visual for how to hold things and how to contain things.
Remind me the scope of your particular your team's project.
It's a multi-sensor, so it actually has dew sensors. It has a timestamp. It has like almost, I think it's like four to five sensors going to the Arduino. So I just have to hold them in place. And
you're not doing the smart house, are you?
No.
Okay.
We're not doing a smart house.
Multi-sensing. So multi-sensing, yeah. I'm trying not to make it a burden for any of you, and it should be transportable, because if we're able to get access to the school near the end weeks, or possibly even a couple of weeks into June for bringing the equipment back in, that it would be nice to do the presentation instead of Zoom, but to do it in person in front of all of the rest of us in person. We don't know if we have that ability yet, or that opportunity to do it that way yet. So until we do, we'd like to still try to keep the containerization to be as modest and not labor intensive. So when you're saying you're carving, I'm thinking about somebody like digging out the log of a canoe, you know?
Oh yeah.
Not
No, I
carving.
got grinders and stuff at my job. I have grinders. I got picks. I got all kind of stuff. So
Wow.
sanders. I got everything. So
Nice. Okay,
I
then
just
you can.
yeah. I'm like, but I got almost got too many options because I don't really know exactly how I want to do it, and I want it to look nice, but we have to break it down like the following week. So
Well, be sure, you know, here's where you brainstorm with your classmates, and during this next week, as we're waiting for clarification on the parts, the rim parts to be ordered and sent to the appropriate addresses, and even from whom we can get them from. My last conversation with Nabil was, wow, maybe instead of having UPS deliver to the school, is having them deliver to the house, at least at the house. His wife is there, and then they can always receive, even though one or two might be out of the house. So he does go to the school twice a week, but limited 4 hours each day. And but his wife is always home, so they can receive at the house, and as long as they can receive, then he'll be able to ship them out. So anyway, those are the logistical things that we're working on our side to get the remaining parts into your hands. So for the next week and a half, 2 weeks, between you and your classmates, figure out what is, based on your resources, what is the best way to containerize this particular presentation, so that yes, you can get the appropriate video angles on it as you're demonstrating different parts. So here's how this sensor is working. So you have your camera on one side, and then here's how this particular sensor is picking up something else, and you have your camera on this side. So it's got to be open, certainly on the top, as we're looking in from, and so think of it as some sort of a box with 5 sides, the bottom and four vertical sides, and an open top, which you can put a lid on for transportation. But yeah, so something, I'm sure you'll come up with something between you and your teammates that is not going to be a burden for you, but also will be able to take advantage of the nice shop that your workplace offers. That's really nice.
right. Yeah,
that's really nice. Okay.
It's actually pretty cool.
And then for so for Karima, Josh, and Tommy, you guys are working on Smart House?
Yeah.
Okay. And so for Smart House, are you using different sensors there as well? Any one of you three can comment. Josh, Tommy, Karima?
We could add sensors.
Well, I'm not saying you need to have sensors.
Okay.
When you say smart house, give me a synopsis of what it is that's going to make something appear.
Uh, mm, we were going to have a Bluetooth connection to a phone in order to turn different things on.
Nice. Okay. All right. And so as you're turning different things on, are you going to be working with low voltage or are you going to be working with line voltage?
Probably low.
That's safer.
Yeah, it will be a low voltage. Yeah.
Okay. All right. If for those of you who were in my PLC class last semester, one of the first things that I demonstrated on the PLC was a low to high voltage presentation where I'm using the PLC through a relay board that was low voltage, but I had the relay, the other side of the relays connected to line voltage, 120 volts, and I was able to demonstrate light bulb, 120 volt light bulbs. They were LEDs, but they were 120 volt light bulbs turning on, turning off, depending upon how the PLC was programmed on its inputs. So yeah, it's always safer. I didn't have any reservations in working with regular voltage because in a previous life I was a licensed electrical contractor. So I didn't have any reservations of playing with that. But I would certainly caution my students that if you were thinking about going with line voltage, that I would have some more discussions with you regarding how to handle that safely. So with respect to low voltage, as things are coming on, so presumably you're going to be lighting up different LEDs.
We're going to have lights and a fan,
Mm-hmm.
and then one moment.
Well, here's something to think about. In a previous life, I was a systems designer for an home automation company. And so a number of different things that we would be able to design for our clients were certainly automated lighting is one aspect where we would be able to turn on different lights in different parts of the house at different levels of illumination. We would be able to set up motorized drapery so that the motorized shades would go up and down depending upon how much light would hit a light sensor. The shades would come down during the certain parts of the day, or there would be tracking of the sun for the seasons. Another key aspect was for home automation was sound. We distributed music throughout the house before anybody else did. We were doing this 10, 15 years ago before it became more commonplace to do now with your Alexis and things of that sort. And so these were all done through either smartphones or done through touch keypads like iPads and things of that sort. So the homeowner was able to select, first of all, what room they wanted the music to play in, what genre of music they wished to listen to, whether it was jazz, rock, country, and western, whatever it was, and then be able to go to a specific artist and play that artist, that melody, that song in that room or several rooms. So that was another aspect of home automation that we engaged in real life. Another aspect of home automation that we engaged in was the HVAC system. The HVAC system is heating, ventilation, air conditioning. So depending upon thermal sensors that were put into the air ducts and the programming of the temperature HVAC control system, if a particular zone was desired to be of a certain temperature at a certain time of day for a certain period of time, our programs were set up such that that occurred. So whatever the homeowner wanted to do either from his or her smartphone or an iPad or just pre-program every morning, yes, I want my heated floors heated. Yes, my clients had heated floors. There were concrete floors that had tubes, plastic tubes inside the floor, zigzagging throughout the floor in the concrete. and they had a very specific temperature. So when they got out of bed in the middle of the night and walked over to the bathroom, for whatever reason, they never stepped onto a stone cold floor. That floor was heated. How did that happen? That's part of home automation. So that's another aspect of the automation systems that my firms provided. But the most fun, the absolute most fun of any home automation system, separate of the sound, we even had underwater speakers. Our speakers could play sound in swimming pools. So when you were above the water, you would hear sound coming from speakers that were shaped like rocks because they would blend in with the landscaping. But when you were in the pool, the music was still popping, 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 popping when you were underwater in the pool. That's the scope of stuff that we did with respect to sound. One of the most interesting projects was a tracking system for a wheelchair where the wheelchair was fixed up, a mobile wheelchair, where the mobile wheelchair, powered wheelchair was fixed up with a sensor system. So whatever that particular driver selected as music would follow him in those particular rooms of the house. So he could start in the living room with his wheelchair, select to listen to Red Hot Chili Peppers or something. And as he riding his wheelchair from the living room through the front patio into the pool area, those sound systems in those areas would turn on as his wheelchair was in those areas. So that's another aspect of home automation that we did. But the most fun part of the automation systems that we put together was the home theaters. The home theaters that we designed for our clients were movie palaces. So when you think about the D-box chairs that we enjoy in the theaters that rock with the sound and then the movie and everything, we had those 12, 15 years ago for our clients. We had D-box with reclining chairs for our clients 10, 15 years ago. And so we built three, 4 chairs in the front, 5, 6, 7 chairs in the middle, and another 4 or 5 chairs in the back row, and each was terraced. And so you press a button on a touch screen, a curtain would open like they would in the old time theaters, your projector would turn on, the sound would turn on, and you would have a screen that would allow you to select, oh, what do you want to watch? Well, I really want to watch this particular, maybe this movie, so you select comedy. The moment that person selected something that was in the comedy category, like, I don't know, something, the screen would automatically change because it was a 10 by 8 matrix, like what you're watching right now. We have a 3 by 3 matrix of your names on a screen. We would have a 10 by 8 matrix of different movie titles. And these movie titles were part of their personal library. And they could select from a server in their music library specifically what they wanted to see. And they would be able to watch it without the FBI trailer at the front. That's the kind of automation we did. So I would encourage you to think about beyond lights and fans. I would encourage you to think about maybe putting in a little music server in there and generating some sound off of a little MP3 player of some sort. It would be one more fun aspect that would be injected in a home automation system, now that I've given you a broad scope of some of the things we do in the real world. Hopefully that's helpful and not intimidating.
Yeah, no, that
I don't
sounds
know.
pretty
The
cool.
heated floors were
Yeah,
kind of intimidating.
So the heated floors, not only did we have heated floors for our clients, the towel bars were heated. So the towels were heated. So when you get out of the shower and you reach for a towel, that towel that you wrap around yourself was a warm towel. Now, is that the way to live or what? That's my client's world. Okay, so yeah, heated floors and heated towel bars. Anyway, we won't challenge you with that particular aspect of home automation. Okay, it's good to have an idea of the scope of what some of the other teams are engaged in. We have things started with good start with respect to the ePortfolios. That we have a good clear timeline in front of us as to what it is we need in terms of time frame to get things done. So for those of you who are, I haven't seen anybody's Gantt chart since I didn't create the container for you to upload it in until this evening. I'll be looking over the Gantt charts. So are there any questions that anybody has regarding portfolios, regarding the Gantt charts, regarding our time frame, regarding our parts, anything? You all got a lot to do, because there is still writing the theory of operation, drawing the schematic, drawing an assembly diagram, laying out a board. Even before you start assembling things, there's a lot of things to do. Writing the BOM, the Bill of Rights, and the labor budget, that can be done now. Don't wait until the last minute to do those things. Writing operating instructions, start getting an outline set up for that task now. That as you're engaged in the multi-sensors, okay, well, how do you envision somebody being able to utilize this and implement this? So you write out some operating instructions, and as you are doing different things, definitely you pull out your cell phones and you'll start taking pictures of different things, because your ePortfolio is supposed to capture as much of your work, your progress work along the way. So even your Gantt charts, you do snips of your progress Gantt charts, and so you can have that as part of the page of the data that you're going to be collecting on your ePortfolios. So a lot of things we can do even before you receive the parts is a lot of this other project management stuff. Any questions? Luis? He's looking up to the sky for answers. Any questions?
My other monitor appears. That's why I'm
I
looking
like
up.
that. That's pretty good. You got the monitor up there. Oh,
Yeah, it's the
there
same
was.
thing I have.
That's nice. There was one instance way back when, because we have projector screens and projectors in our classrooms, we did that for a client. I want to say over 25 years ago. We had the 3-gun, 3-lens projector systems before they became compact like this. And we set that up in a number of clients' master bedrooms. So the projector would be in a closet space behind their headboard, projecting through a porthole, and down from the ceiling would drop a screen at a push of a button. And right there in front of them at the foot of the bed was a giant 8-foot diagonal projector screen where they can watch their whatever it is that they watched. Another aspect of home automation. So, and that client did ask for another bedroom where they would put a television on the ceiling. We did that too. There wasn't very often that we did that, because back in the day, the screens projecting upwards were a different challenge. They didn't have the range of flexibilities that our modern projectors do today. So that was different. Anyway, so now I know why you're looking up. Lewis, William, I'm so glad you were not injured. Hopefully you're they can replace metal, they can replace plastic, rubber. Yeah, I know, poor baby's all crushed, but they can't replace William. So I'm so glad that you were not seriously injured, and you're with us in the land of the living. Any questions from you? Okay.
No questions. No questions.
Okay.
Just looking at my baby.
Oh, poor thing. Oh yeah, let's look at that. Oh man. Oh, poor thing.
Alexis.
But well, that just looks like crumpled metal, because it doesn't look like.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, you're still drivable.
Well, the wheel well's damaged, so it's not drivable just yet.
Oh.
Yeah, the wheel well's damaged. I don't know what's going on with the engine, and then one of my headlights is completely destroyed. So
Okay,
yeah,
well, no,
it's a garbage truck.
Oh my goodness.
Hit by a garbage truck? That's crazy.
Yeah, freaking the guy, he stopped short and swerved into my lane of traffic. So I don't know. Right now, I'm just working it out with the insurance companies. We'll see. We'll see what they come up with.
Okay. Yeah. 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 And
Yeah.
the most important thing is you weren't seriously injured, so there's an angel
Yeah.
riding on your shoulder today, in spite of the damage to the little baby there.
Yeah.
Anyway, so glad you're here with us. Let's go on. Joaquin, questions from you?
Not exactly. I'm just having trouble opening the Gantt thing on my other laptop, but I think it's just a problem with my laptop. So if I can't get that figured out, I'll just let you know later.
Yeah, please do. Okay. All right. And Josh, do you have any questions?
No, not really.
Okay. All right. Buzz me if you do. Karima, any questions?
Yes, Mr. Go. So for the Gantt
Hey.
chart, each one of us has to submit his own Gantt chart, right?
That's correct. There's a overall one, and then there's one that's specific for each of you, because it's certainly something that is an important enough learning aspect of what we do that everybody needs to learn how to construct it and how to lay out the time frames. Yes. So the answer to your question is yes. Each one submits their own specific to their tasks. So the portfolio person has their tasks, which are outlined in purple on my master spreadsheet. The prototype person has their tasks outlined in green, and the team leader has their tasks outlined in the flesh color. And for my team, I'll do the master, but the other team members we've already discussed how to split the labor. So Karima, the answer to your question is a yes.
Okay. What about the ePortfolio? So just one ePortfolio.
Yeah, just one ePortfolio for the team, and that is the responsibility of the ePortfolio person. However, the other two teammates submit to the ePortfolio person any images, videos, and things of that sort.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So only one ePortfolio per team, one master Gantt chart per team, but your individual Gantt charts for your individual tasks.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Any other questions, Karima?
Yes, one more question. So
Please.
is there a difference between Gantt chart or MS project?
I'm doing the Gantt chart using the MS project.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm using MS project to construct my Gantt chart.
Okay. So I already, as I said, I already submitted the master MS project chart. So if you could please take a look at it and then let me know if I need to change something or.
Okay. Let me open that very quickly before we part company.
Okay.
And while I'm doing that, Chase, did you have any questions?
Yeah, I think I remember you posting something about like a product key for the software that we're supposed to use for the Gantt project. I'm just trying to look
Well,
for
the
that right now.
software, yeah, the keys were for Microsoft Project 2013, whatever it was. And if you can't locate that key, each person had a different key. I can give you a key. So would you like the key that was assigned to your name, Chase?
Sure, yeah, just give me one moment. I just need to pull up, I just remember installing the software on my computer and it not like saying that like, oh, it was not valid or whatever like that. What product wasn't activated?
Yeah, and that project probably was what the key was for. So it's no, I didn't generate, but Professor Phillips had generated these keys and had been used successfully the last year that we had done this. And I'll be happy to give you your key. Karima's Gantt chart's opening up shortly. So let me go to 61.
If you're sending keys, can I get one too, please?
I can send you yours. I have the email pulled up with all of them. I'll put it in the
Okay,
chat.
cool. Cool.
Oh, cool. Okay, thank you. 320. So let me open up that Excel. Okay. Neat. All right, so if I do this, take a picture of this. It's the fastest way to get it for you. Okay, you're on my share screen. So does everybody see the yellow highlighted keys on the left side of my screen?
Yeah.
All right. So Chase, if you were looking for that, just take a picture with your cell phone and that's your key. And for each of you, those are your keys. Did that answer your question, Chase? Your microphone's off.
Yeah, I'm just typing it in right now.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'll just leave it up on the screen for just a moment. And anybody else, take your pictures now because I'm going to take a look at a Gantt chart that Karima just submitted. Okay, has everybody got their keys?
Yeah, I think I just set mine's up.
Okay, cool. All right, so now let's go ahead, this guy here. I think I have to download this file and download this file. That looks good. And then if I shift this guy here, yeah. Yeah, no, it looks exactly as I hoped it would, that as things, and we're going to be adjusting this along the way. I was just looking for a start based on the different tasks that we had outlined and the different days that were assigned. You would pop in the appropriate dates, and as you pop in the appropriate dates, from a visual standpoint, we start to see how each one of these items lines up. So if you were to put a straight edge on here, you would be able to see for item number 9, let's say, if I highlight item number 9, draw assembly diagram one day, it shows the date and it shows who's responsible for it and where this blue bar happens to sit in our time frame from when we began last week to where we're targeted to finish things by the second to third week of May. Okay, so no, all this looks really, really good. Like writing the theory of, yes, you can pull between these screens. We can do this, pull between these screens and see more of this, and we can see the very last part here in May, the entire team presents. That wasn't visible a moment ago when I had the screen split this way. But by splitting the screen this way, we see more detailed information of a start date and a finish date. So yeah, Karima, this looks like you've hit the mark wonderfully for the entire team. And this is the target of what it is that we're looking for. And the only reason why we can't see that last date is, let me widen this guy here. And now with this wide of a screen, we can see all the way into May where the entire team will finish. And there shouldn't be no blue bar past this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no blue bar past this. So this is really a marvelous tool that gives us a very clear delineation of what the tasks are, what the duration of the tasks are assigned to be, what the beginning time of the task, what the end time of the task. And then the other side is who's assigned these tasks and how they visually fit on this time frame and whether we have things in the correct order or not. So this is something that for any kind of a project that any of you are engaged in, you would be using this as a template to make sure that you're chronologically keeping the appropriate pace of what it is that you're doing. So this is very, very good. Nice work. Hopefully all the rest of ours are looking something similar to this. Okay. And Tommy, did you have any questions? I'm sorry.
I don't believe so.
Okay, Carlos, did you have any questions?
Yes, Mr. Cole. For the master Gantt chart,
Yes.
the master Gantt chart has to be embedded the other Gantt charts of the other team members, the prototype and the ePortfolio specialist?
Yeah, the master one will be the one that's done by your team leader. And whoever the team leader is will have all of the information pertaining to all of the tasks by all of the team members. The individual Gantt charts for the assembler will only pertain to the assembler. The individual Gantt chart person will not have, so for example, the person who is doing the portfolio will not be concerned with the prototyping, the troubleshooting, the assembly will only be concerned with those tasks that are part of the ePortfolio person. So again, we come back to here as to how things are assigned. The Gantt chart for the ePortfolio is only for those tasks that are shown in purple, and the prototype portfolio, the prototype Gantt chart will only be specific to the prototype person's tasks in the order in which things are to be done. But the master one is all encompassing, like the one that is demonstrated on this page submitted by Karima and her team. So Carlos, did that answer the question for you?
Yes, but well, my question was really if, let's say, the specialist, the ePortfolio specialist, would require to create a more detailed Gantt chart rather than the master Gantt chart, because it's more
Actually, it's not.
specific.
No, it's not more detailed, but it's specific. So you can borrow the information from your team's master. So for example, since Karima had put all this together, the ePortfolio person is Josh, looks like. So Josh, for his Gantt chart, would pull out stuff that specifically has his name on it. And that's all that we need for him to show for his tasks with his name and all the blue bars according to his particular tasks. The Tommy, who looks like he's going to be the fabricator, would pull out just Tommy's named information. So for example, this is one of Tommy's. This is another one of Tommy's. So since Karima had taken this amount of time to put this together, he could just copy this, but I would really encourage each of you to try to construct this on your own rather than copy the master that your team leader had put together, because it's an important learning exercise that each of you learn how to construct this, because each of you may become a team leader on some project in the future. So that's why I'm having this assigned, not for busy work, but because I think it is certainly something of value to each of you, as this is a project management course. So did I answer that question for you?
Yeah. That answered my question. Thank you, Mr. Cook.
You're very, very welcome. Okay, I think I did all the way around. And Karima, did I answer your question as we now have it up and open? I'm very pleased with what I see. Everything looks great, and I would consider not having to shift these dates. If we can hold to these dates, great. If we can't, we know we have the 9th week, but we don't want to put it on here if we don't have to.
Yeah, so one more question, Mr. Cook. For ordering the parts, I did your name. I put your name over there. Should I change it to the team lead or just leave it there? Like, as you see.
You could put both of our names, because you're going to be funneling that through me, and then I'll forward it to Nabil. So yeah, you as a team lead, you should have your name in there as well. So put both of our names there for ordering parts.
Okay.
Good job. Nice work. Any other questions, my friends? All right, this is a good talk. I will keep an eye out for this recording when it becomes available, and it will be translated from Zoom format to MP4 format, and from MP4 format uploaded into YouTube. So it will take a couple days for me to actually receive the file, convert the file, upload the file. So you'll ultimately be able to see this and the previous session that we've had on my YouTube channel within a couple days. Is that all right, everybody? Okay. All right. If there's no more questions, then I've asked plenty of questions for each of you. Overall, I'm very pleased with your results and how you're working together. And I look forward to the ordering and you guys receiving the parts that you need in as short a period of time as possible. Any questions that do arise, you know I'm available through Canvas, and I always try to answer within a business day. So don't hesitate to ping me if you have any questions. With that, thank you very much. Great talk. Adios, everybody.
Bye-bye.
See you
Bye-bye.
guys.
Bye.
Yeah, see ya.
You.
See ya. And recording. Stop recording.